Do you like his music?
No.
My heart's beating, my hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting. I'm still getting headshots. It's like boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. Headshot.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7,
This is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to round 8 of season 2025B of the Doogie Mobile and everything simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. Brought to you by TWR Setups, 131 Web Radio Network, and Inside Lane Productions. Kobe Jordan in behind the cameras, and I am back in the booth once again, joined with James Watson. How are you, James?
I'm doing great, Paul. Looking forward to this one. Indianapolis, what more can you say? One of the most, arguably the most historic racing facility in the history of motorsports. Every time you walk into these hallowed grounds, you're just punched in the face with history. And more history will be made tonight as we're bringing the OzOVals series here. And I really looking forward to see how these Gen 3 supercars actually make their way around the Yard of Bricks.
Well, as a kid, a bit of a throwback. My uncle, I used to remember coming from New Zealand over to the US to watch the Indianapolis. He used to come over for that, Brickyard 400 as well. So a little bit of history there from racing family as well. But as you mentioned, we are at Indianapolis tonight, 80 laps around here. There's our race facts: 50% fuel load, 4 sets of tyres. So a little bit rusty from missing out on the action last week, but a little recap: round 7 at Michigan. I believe it was a pretty clean race with some barber action towards the end of that race, James.
Yeah, it was one of the most epic races we've done in our, at least in my time doing the series. It was definitely a barn burner from start to finish, and hopefully we get some carryover from that if what we've seen in practice is anything to go off of.
Well, we'll see if Adam Malone can run it back again this week, as he took the win at Michigan last week. Troy Davidson was hot on his heels, with Ruben Phelps coming home in third last week. But there's our top 10 standings for the championship at the moment. Gary Wellman now on top of Ruben Phelps. So 3-point lead there over second place. Troy Davidson still following closely as well for your top 3. Andy Barber, Ryan Barber in the top 5. Kay Donnelly and Matty Ray on that 6th spot there. Adam Malone, Nicholas Walsh, Braden Sagasser, your top 10 for the championship. So we've still got a few more rounds to go yet. I think this is the 7th final round to go. So we're just over halfway on the championship at the moment. So we'll see where things play out over the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, and still everything to play for. Only 3-point gap. That is, well, as fans and broadcasters, it's exactly what you want to see, right? Big, dominant gaps in the points is cool and to appreciate, but if you're watching along, you're like, you want to see a good old-fashioned brawl for the championship, and so far that's what we're seeing between Gary and Ruben.
Yeah, for sure. Makes things interesting and puts a bit of pressure on the drivers as well to do well each week, so they can try and maintain the top spots in the championship and fight for that prize from Doogie Mobile, that Blade GT mobile phone. But, the boys are in qualifying mode at the moment. Halfway through there, Braden Sags are at the top currently. Wellman almost jumping to the top there, sliding into second. So we'll let the boys run it through, and we'll see who can take pole tonight for Indianapolis. Looks like Shannon Wright maybe getting real close to the wall there.
Yeah, this is probably the most difficult track to qualify on that we have on the schedule. You know, as a veteran of several Indy 500s and like big deal shows where you had to put everything you had to make sure you made it into the race, qualifying in Indianapolis is not easy. There's just not as much grip as you'd hope with that flatter banking, so being able to really figure out how much speed you have to carry onto the corners without carrying too much speed and stuff it into the wall, it's not hard. And plus, you're carrying a lot of speed into these corners, so you're having to deal with that lack of grip while having to just gut it out and just send it in as hard as you can. You know, if you can get pole here at Indianapolis, that's a huge accomplishment because, again, it's not easy to put in a good lap.
Well, it looks like Ruben Phelps got it figured out. He's sitting pretty up in the 55.5s at the moment. Ryan Barber jumping up to second with a 55.6. Nice qualifying time there. 30 seconds to go, so we'll go to a quick ad break and we'll come back with a starting grid.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight with us for round 8 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOVal V8 Supercar Series. And taking pole is Ruben Phelps alongside Ryan Barber on the front row. Adam Malone and Kay Donnelly second row. Braden Sagerser and Gary Wellman on the third row. Wade Sheedy and Andy Barber on the fourth row. And Nicholas Walsh and Craig Roffey rounding out the 10.
And on row 6, we have Lachlan Purvis in the 096 and Scott McClintock in the 016. Row 7 features Jake Jackson in the 444 and Kim Rafi in the 099. Todd Maxfield in the 16 and Peter Madsen in the 173 occupy row 8. Row 9 has Troy Davidson in the 23 and Shannon Wright in the 023, all 23 row here on row 9. Perry Anastakis in the 144 and Steve McLennan in the 88 rounding out the top 20. Jay Chandler in the 18 and Angus Sweeney on row 11. Matty Raymond in the 80 and Derek Jacobs in the 27 on row 12. Troy Mortensen in the 83 and Colin Bennett in the 242 on row 13. And that's your starting grid for tonight's event.
Wow, 26 starters tonight at Indianapolis. So hopefully we can get 26 finishes. It's quite a grid tonight, James.
Yeah, it's a shame. We were so close to getting 33 starters for tonight's race. Somehow that would have been really fitting, but 26, that is a healthy grid. You love to see it, and it's going to be something to see all 26 of these cars try to fight around these corners.
And a couple of new drivers as well that I spotted through the field there tonight as well. Give a shout out there to Angus Sweeney. Looks like someone's tuning into the broadcast as well to show their support for Angus. Good luck to Angus tonight. Pace lap, formation lap behind the pace car as they make that long way around Indianapolis before we go green.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Paul, this pace lap feels like an eternity. Because it is an eternity. Pace laps are like 4 minutes around here, so we're all hoping that this is a fairly clean and straightforward race. Otherwise, this is going to be a long night. I don't think any of us want to recreate the 2008 Brickyard 400. Yeah, less said about that one, the better.
Yep. Well, we've probably all done our fair share of races at Indy, and they can drag on a bit at times, especially with a 100-lap race. You're thinking, well, just 20 laps less would have been perfect, and now we're at the 80. But Ruben Phelps going to be taking us to green. Ryan Barber alongside, getting a nice jump there. And Ryan Barber getting the run into turn 1. Taking the lead early.
Yeah, great start by Ryan. He gets the jump and he leads out of turn 1. And it's important because dirty air is not your friend around this place. So the less you have to deal with it, the better.
Definitely a little bit of fanning out from the drivers behind. Almost going 3 wide. Andy Barber just getting his nose cut off a little bit there. One of my favourite things was always dive bombing in hard into the turn sort of 3-4 corners there. But used to always catch a few people off at times when you can outbrake them around those corners there. So hopefully we see some good passes through there tonight. Craig Roffey,
3 wide into turn 1. Oh!
Big move there from Craig Roffey into that corner. So the dive bomb's almost coming out already. So hopefully we'll see more of that action tonight.
Oh, yeah, maybe not dive bomb 3 wide because I don't think my heart can take it.
Well, we could be coming up to it again. Andy Barber outside now.
Boy.
Looks like Wade Sheedy trying to go on Gary Wellman there as well. Good to see a bit of racing action early on.
Yeah, and this is nice to see too because IMS isn't the most raciest track out there. You know, I mentioned it earlier. Dirty Air always really wreaks havoc, and especially since you don't have a whole lot of viable lines here. Thankfully, in the sim, you can use the middle lane and maybe even the third lane to a point, which is a stark contrast to real life where anything past the inside groove is pretty much absolutely useless. So we will be able to see some side-by-side racing as we see move for P3. Sheedy gets by Donnelly for 3rd.
Yeah, the one thing I used to find with Indy, I'd go too hard too early, burn up the tyres, and then slowly move towards the back of the pack. But did have some good runs at Indy as well. Had some nice finishes from time to time as well once I learnt what to do at Indy. So it'll be interesting to see how these boys go tonight, how the old tyres will hold up around Indy.
Yeah, they're probably not going to hold up pretty well. The Indy is very much not good on tires. You know, angrily gestures at 2008 Brickyard and 2005 USGP. So I imagine we're going to see a lot of meatballs. I know I heard some feedback and testing, and the tire wear was not looking that good. So you're really going to be focusing on trying to see how far you can stretch these tires, not necessarily how long you can stretch your fuels. Matty Raymond looking to make it 3 wide, but he'll fall back in line.
A little bit far back for that 3 wide at that time, so not quite able to make that move.
He just wanted to do one of the dive bombs you're talking about. He heard you and he was like, all right, mate, power suggestion, I'm going to send it.
Well, Wade Sheedy at the front now, and he's already looking to make those strategies, trying to break that toe on Ryan Barber, and he's just go hard or go home tonight, I think. He's already pulled a gap almost half a second on Ryan Barber, so definitely no saving there. As you can see, he moves right out to the pit line wall trying to break that draft.
It's not a race at the Speedway without the snake. Tired of these something snakes on this something racetrack.
It's always good to see that snake going on the final few laps, and I don't think I've ever seen it this early in a race though.
No, but if you can break away from the draft, that'll be a huge advantage. Then you don't have to worry about anything. Then you can just kind of focus on your own race, focus on trying to conserve tires. It's a huge advantage, which is why I'm not too surprised seeing the 03 doing everything he can to try to break out of that. But so far, him and Barber are starting to do that themselves. They're almost a full second in front of Craig back in P3.
Yeah, well, Craig Roffey moved up into third there, so just looks like Ruben Phelps, Cade Donnelly, they're obviously playing a bit of a smarter game there, just letting these guys slowly come through and maybe save up their gear for a bit later on in the stint. I did hair maybe 28 odd laps without the draft for a fuel run, so I think we sort of predicted maybe, in the mid-30s for a fuel stint. So if these guys maybe further back are doing more saving, if they can try and push that to a 40, that could be a one-stopper if they're lucky, but I don't know if they could push that far.
I don't think so either. That's going to be like mammoth fuel save. Like, you would need the ability to actually adjust the fuel map levels of fuel save. If someone can pull it off, hey, tip my cap to them, but yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, well, I think going back to one of my previous races here, I did try a fuel save run, and in the end I got chased down with about sort of 8 to 10 laps to go, so it is a hard task, especially at Indy being such a long track.
Yeah, but because it's such a long track, you tend to see a lot of fuel mileage strategies happening because of that. Like, you saw Alexander Rossi won the 500 back in 2016 off of a impeccable fuel save strat. You see pretty much the entire, first 180 laps of the race is just trying to save as much fuel as you can, try to stretch it out and cut out a pit stop. So it always becomes much more of a strategy race than an actual on-track battle until the last 20-odd laps or so. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's what this starts to turn into, especially since we're starting to see some gaps pop up through the field.
Well, we got Steve Hoppert predicting a caution, I hope not, at 18 to 23 laps into this race. So we're coming on halfway to that prediction for Steve Hoppert. So we'll see if that one comes to light. Wade Sheedy still slowly trying to stretch that gap out to a second on Ryan Barber. Craig Roffey almost out to a second on Ryan Barber. So some gaps starting to emerge at the front. We've still got plenty of racing action going on further back in the pack here. Peter Matson there with Andy Barber. Kim Roffey behind.
Yeah, we're definitely still getting a bit of a hornet's nest here in the midfield. You know, some gaps are starting to creep up, but we still got pretty much most of the entire field on one straightaway, so it's not too terrible so far as we're already bringing it into lap 11.
Andy Barber making a move on Nicholas Walsh there. Round turn 1 and 2, bit of door action going on there. Peter Matson trying to look through the middle there, looking like he wants to part the two. Ooh, bit of contact there. I think. Big wiggle moment.
Yeah, and I thought Peter was gonna. He really wanted to send it 3 wide. He was looking. But he'll follow Andy past Walsh. Oh, hello. Got some racing going on up there entering turn 1.
Yeah, Shannon Wright looking to try and make a move. Troy Davidson, I think he's got that job done. So it's for the top 10 there at the moment. We'll call Troy Davidson the gatekeeper at the moment. The Chaz Monster paint scheme going on there tonight. So that's Angus Sweeney there, newcomer.
He's got half of the 1-9 guys behind him as one of them hits the wall off of 4.
Shannon Wright making some moves because he's now made the move on Todd Maxfield, so slowly working his way up through the field.
Yeah, picking the Sim boys off 1 by 1. And he's got another one in Wellman right in front of him. Up towards the front, Ryan Barber is starting to reel Wade in under. Wow, he's almost under a tenth of a second behind. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's where the old tyre starts to plateau and drop off, and you can see the gaps close up once again, and probably won't be long before Ryan's making his move once again for that race lead.
Yeah, and if Motegi's anything to go off of, the Barbers are really good at conserving their tires and being quick while conserving them. So it's not that surprising that we're seeing the 0.5 really kind of starting to pick up speed towards the middle part of the stint.
As I quoted from Motegi, the student becomes a teacher. So Ryan's probably sitting there going, "Where are you, Dad? I can hurry up." Andy Barber back in 13th at the moment. So just cruising along. So a bit of strategy from the Barbers tonight. 2 different strategies. We'll see who's got that strategy right come the end of this race.
Yeah, yep. Whatever strategy that is works out. It's weird seeing Andy this far down in the running order, especially after the last couple of weeks.
A bit of action up the front here for third, though. Ruben Phelps, Craig Roffey, Kate Donnelly. We're getting nice and close to each other. Ruben Phelps back up to third.
Yeah, a lap ago, Craig was out front of this pack, and now he's lost 2 positions. I wonder if he's going to lose another one. Oh, man.
It's like a big helping hand into turn 1 there.
Yeah, I don't think you can put a piece of paper between Craig and Sagasser. That was super close. I swore they were bump drafting into turn 1.
Definitely a lot of bump drafting going on at the front there. Getting the wiggles coming into the corners there. Maybe I was going to say if we had more Simboys cars up there, we with those colours we could have called them the Wiggles, but
yeah, in fact I could see Todd Maxfield back there in the toot toot chugga chugga big red car. Shannon Wright Sagasser. Oh, you want to talk about close? Boy, howdy. Once again, I don't think you can put a piece of paper in between those two. Shannon is moving. Oh, but Sagasser wants it back. Oh, Shannon tries to squeeze. Oh.
Well, there's that classic dive bomb there into turn 3, so I do love those.
Yeah, eventually Shannon just had to make a business decision and just get the heck out of the way and say, all right, take it back. Criminy.
Well, at least they're putting on a show for everyone tonight.
That they are.
Ryan Barber still happy sitting in behind Wade Sheedy at the moment, so he still hasn't made that move for the race lead yet.
Meanwhile, Wright just airmailed it through turn 1. Missed the curve by about a lane and a half, maybe even more. This is split this second pack up.
Well, we might go to a quick ad break, and when we come back, hopefully we might start be getting a bit closer to pit stops, and we'll see what...
oh, wait, hold on. Bow for the lead right here. Here comes Barber.
There's that move
Sheedy.
done.
Yeah, Sheedy tried to hang on the outside, but Barber takes it. He's already starting to gap him.
There we go. We've got the first car coming down pit lane. I'm not sure who that one is.
Yeah, Chandler and the number 2 mobile. I know it says 18 on it, but let's be real, it's the number 2 car. His entry looked a little interesting with where the car was pointed. Was it a conventional pit entry, or did something happen for the number 2?
Let's go back on my screen here and just have a bit of a look. He had been running a little bit by himself there.
Ooh.
So
Kim Rafi with a little bit of wall contact.
We're in turn 4. It looked like he washed right up into the wall, and the front bumper come off that car, and then he just brought that into pit lane. So alrighty, well, now maybe we can go to an air break, James. Unless you want to hang on another minute. We've got plenty more action happening there at the moment.
Yeah. Whew.
Well, they're not going to let us go to an ad break.
I know, right? Every time we start to throw it to the ads, they really start racing. Alright, now I think we're going to go ahead and take that ad break, so we'll see you on the other side.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone, and thanks for tuning in tonight on Inside Lane Productions for round 8 of the DG Mobile and everything simulated OzOVal V8 Supercar Series. Pit lane has been lit up, and if the boys let us go to the ad break sooner, we would have brought this to you sooner. But under replay here, big moment coming into pit lane. We'll, catch this one here. So
Yeah. Oh man, like
big
this
lockup
is
moment.
wild. Like Craig, I think Ryan took it a lot easier than what Craig was expecting, and so Craig had to make the evasive maneuver of the year to avoid completely plowing the back of the 05. And that car was facing directions you didn't want it to be pointing in. And he somehow managed to get it to go around Ryan Barber, avoid hitting the pit entry cone for a penalty, and clearing him, all while locking up the brakes and probably screaming in terror because, yeah, when you're doing that, it's pretty scary and you're not expecting to actually survive it. So that was one of the craziest and most impressive things I've seen. That is just absolutely insane that went on with no contact and no penalty. Like, incredible. Oh man, Sheedy tried getting by Wellman and Gary absolutely slammed the door shut.
Well, we had another little bit of lock-up moment there with Adam Malone and Braden Saggers there in the pit lane.
I saw
as well. Looks like everyone's just coming in hot to pit lane there. They don't have much time to get in off of turn 4, so they want to try and utilize as much speed coming off of 4 to slow down, but obviously not slow down too early.
Yeah, and this is the NASCAR version of Indianapolis. And so the NASCAR version, you see the pit entry cones are a bit past the pit attenuator. So you have to be on pit road speed before you're even actually going down pit lane, as opposed to the IndyCar version of IMS, where the pit entry cones are down past the pit road opening, so you have a lot more time to be able to get slowed down. But here you have a lot less time, so you're almost wanting to start your braking with these things, maybe not right at the right at the exit of turn 4, but pretty early. And another interesting tidbit with the differences between IndyCar and NASCAR layout. Gary Wellman went over the middle white line through the short shoe on his pit exit, and I'm wondering, I know for a fact, okay, Kobe just answered that, no black flag. It threw me off because I know for a fact the IndyCar version, if you go over that white line, you are absolutely being slapped with a pit exit penalty. And in the elite qualifying for the Elite Indy 500, on bump day, someone got a black flag from that, and that ended their run, and they were not able to make a final run to qualify for the race. So, yeah, needless to say, I have PTSD whenever I see someone cross that line.
Yeah, I did see that with Adam Malone earlier as well. I was like, surely this is going to come to a black flag, as I was keeping an eye on that, but not to be. So utilising a bit more of the track and pit exit.
And that's kind of funny to me, because in the last year's NASCAR race here, we saw a few guys get penalized for going over that line, when it's never been a penalty in IndyCar. I swore I've seen guys run over that line pit exit many a time without a penalty. But yet, the IndyCar layout has it as a penalty, but you're free and clear here. So, I don't know anymore.
Well, we race on. That's all I can say on that one. No harm, no foul this time, so race on. Wade Sheedy back out the front. Kate Donnelly in behind this time. On screen at the moment. Shannon Wright again making his way through.
Yeah, we saw Sheedy. He was the first one to pit road. So he got that little bit of undercut that was able to bring him right back to the lead of this race. And I believe Kate Donnelly... No, Kate came down with Ruben and Craig, right? Or am I misremembering as usual?
Oh, I think he did.
Okay.
We'll say he did.
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds the best. But yeah, he was able to... Oh, as we see a couple cars get... Oh! Whoa! Shannon Wright and Andy Barber getting a little too close, entering turn 2, and that was almost disaster.
Good save there by Andy Barber. Just flicking the rear out and managed to grab it before it went too far on him.
Yeah, and so far, from what I can see at least, the biggest loser on the pit stops seems to be Ryan Barber. Like, we saw him leading the race before pit cycle started, and now he's come out in P7, and he's in that second group that's just a little bit off of these top 4 cars.
Well, definitely would have lost a little bit of time coming into pit lane with the the sideways lock-up and everything, so you can't expect to have a quick pit stop time with that happening.
Yeah, heck, he probably also lost a couple years off of his life seeing Craig in his mirror come at him from Mock Jesus and somehow, like, Tokyo drift around him, full lockup, and pass him.
I wouldn't say a couple of years, but I mean, when he's got to go to Kmart when they're open at midnight to get a new pair of underwear. Might waste half an hour there, but, you know. Yeah, jump onto the chat there. I think, Kobe, if you can bring up Angus, we'll jump on Angus, see how he's tracking. There's a few in the support there for him. So where's he currently sitting at the moment? I'll just click my screen off, but started 22nd and current 22nd at the moment. So sticking true to his qualifying pace. Not much happening around him at the moment. Lone runner, so it'll be a bit of a hard job to catch anyone unless there's a caution at the moment.
Yeah, so far just a nice, clean, and focused forward race from Angus right now. Oh yeah, that's significant front damage right there. That is costing him a lot of time down the straights. I think we found the reason for the his gap to the cars ahead of him, because, oh yeah, this isn't the place you want to have any aero damage. I wonder where that came from, or when it came from. I think we can figure out where it came from and how it got there. Just when exactly he got it.
That might take us a while in reverse, but at the moment I think he is on his own track. But back to the front there, so the gap's closed up there. Kate Donnelly, Craig Roffey in behind, lapped car behind Craig Roffey there at the moment, one of the 1-9 boys. Now we've got a 3-car battle up at the front here at the moment. So Craig Roffey, who fell back earlier, back up the front Yeah, Kate Donnelly giving a nice big push down the straight. And a big early check up into turn 3 there.
Yeah.
Got run over. Maybe a bit of a brake check there. Just setting himself up for the corner.
Now, you want to talk who's the big winner of those pit cycles? I think it might be Matty Raymond. Look at that. He's leading that second pack in P8. I think he was like outside the top 15 when pit stop started, and here he is up inside the top 10. Up 15, yeah. 15 spots from his qualifying effort. That is a mega drive so far.
Yeah, definitely. Just got the pit times on screen there at the moment. So Wade Sheedy, no, Matty Ray with the fastest pit time, as you said. So that definitely helps to jump a few spots there. Troy Mortensen actually a blinder, the fastest pit stop there back in 19th, 27:17. So really good time there for Morty.
Yeah, I believe Jade Chandler might have retired since we saw his pit stop time. Currently still counting. I wonder what 1,000 seconds is. I don't have the brain power to do all that math right now.
Well, besides the retiree of Jade Chandler, Jake Jackson, the only car a lap down at the moment, who's just sitting in behind Craig Roffey, so we'll be hoping for a little caution maybe in the background behind him. Try and get a lead lap back on. Good to see at the moment only one car down, so let's try and have a look back a little bit further up. Steve McLennan a bit further up the track. About to go a lap down in 24th, and then Derek Jacobs not far up the road from him, so going to be seeing a few lapped cars come into play in a moment. Coming up to our halfway here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Got to make lap 39 of 80. Pit stops happened a little bit earlier than we predicted. I think about 23 or something they started filing in there, so might hang on a moment for our pit stops, and we'll see what happens before we go to that ad break.
Yeah, we were speculating like lap 28, even a little bit of small speculating of someone trying to make it on one stop, and yeah, we were a little off base on that.
I blame the dodgy producers, Intel. They must have pushed him up on that one.
When in doubt, blame Kobe.
Yep.
And I'm hearing I've just been fired, so nice call races with everyone.
Wade Sheedy's still on the run here. Scott McClintock making a move at the moment on Peter Matson. Tim Roffey coming through as well.
Yeah, this is a nice little battle right here. A couple of the road cars.
Ariana Stark is just in front of them. We reach that halfway mark now. Maybe we could just ask him if they want to call a race at the halfway mark. Getting a bit sore sitting there, showing me age.
Yeah, 100 laps in the books, and or 100 miles in the books, 100 more to go.
Well, at least it's definitely got a 400 race.
Yeah, or a 500-mile race.
Ruben Phelps getting by the lap traffic now. Just hanging out wide, letting the guys further back in this lead pack come through. Adam Malone going for a big send in.
Yeah. Like, look at the run he got. It's like he got shot out of a cannon. Like, I don't know what happened, but yeah, he came from oblivion. I wonder, because I believe it's the 444 Jake Jackson. I believe he just went a lap down, correct? Yeah, so I think he was just letting him go, and it made it look a little more spectacular than it actually was.
Little groups of racing cars here and there at the moment. So that's what happens at Indy. You get those pit stops that separates everyone, and then you get the whole field broken up here. So it's Andy Barber at the moment leading over Matty Ray in that group. Scott McClintock's found his way in front of Parry and Astakis in the next group.
Yeah, you definitely earn your money at IMS on pit road entry and exit. That's why you've seen a lot of crashes in the 500 entering pit road, because you're trying to get so much, trying to maximize your speed, that sometimes you just send it a little too hard and you're either just straight lock the brakes up and get yourself a nice little black flag for speeding, or you lock the rears and go nose first into the wall. Because you don't want to be in one of those groups back outside the lead pack. And if you're just that little bit off on your pit stop, you're going to be outside of that lead pack. So I don't think there's a single track where I practice pit entry and box entry as much as we see. Peter Madsen, first one down.
And that little group of four there, that's a
Group of three now.
bit of a dicey move there to pit on his own. So you want to be trying to pit with a friend anyway to keep that draft pace running. But see,
you say that, but and this goes for even like Daytona and Talladega, as we see. Oh, on the wall, McLennan hard into the wall. He's trying to get off of the racing surface, and yeah, he found the marbles and he found the wall. But we stay clean and green.
Well, good night there, Steve Hobbit. Hopefully you'll, if you come back, watch the race later. See how the race finishes up. Should be looking at a few more pit stops happening in the next probably couple of laps there. Derek Jacobs just ahead of the leaders chasing them down now.
McLennan into the wall again as we see him exiting turn 4.
We would have brought that car into pit lane after that one.
Yeah. Well, you see it, folks at home. If we get a caution, it's Sarah's fault. I'm free of the curse this time.
Well, I'll blame you for speaking about it on air, so it's your fault still.
Yeah, that tracks. Alright, well, we'll see. Anyone gonna peel off this time? Might be a good time to do it with the lap car Derek Jacobs. Nope. Everyone stays put.
I mean, using that draft with the DJ there, pulling them along, making them go a little bit quicker for the leaders up front. So maybe look at the next lap or two for the leaders to try and make that pass. Ruben Phelps right up the back there now, and Craig Roffey.
Yeah, and honestly, the more I think about it, I think we are going to be another lap or two before, since they pitted around lap 23, 24. Whoa, so we see the aggression pick it up before these stops.
Okay, Donnelly looking like he wanted to make a move, and Ruben Phelps going even wider. So Ruben Phelps around Craig Roffey. Coming up to third. Wait,
here we go,
Sheedy. Oh, that was a big hold-up moment there for Sheedy coming into pit lane. Almost got run over.
As you see, I think that's Andy Barber and Shannon Wright bringing it down. Tim Roffey too, I believe.
I'll just stay on with the leaders on my screen at the moment, and I'll see who comes into pit lane on the next lap. Ruben Phelps out on front at the moment.
Yeah, Ruben able to get by Cade, so he's going to be the one out front.
A few more going to be pitting in. Matty Ray on the comms to pit in. No one else in the leader train there pitting in.
Oh boy.
Matty Ray come in hot there. Derek Jacobs just taking the cruisy route into pit lane and had a missile up behind him.
And that is it. Oh, we got far around.
That's Scott McClintock.
Oh, that could have very well been a caution. We had another car near him. That might have been the caution. And oh, yep. What did I tell you? A little too much speed. Locked the rears and wall.
We did clear the cones, so
yeah,
maybe that's why that one didn't come out on the caution there.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, Paul.
Looks like our leader's coming in again. Kay Donnelly into pit road this time. Craig Roffey following. And Ryan Barber, I think, in as well. So Ruben Phelps staying out.
Yeah, a little more variation in the strategy this time around. We saw everybody came down and pitted at lap 24, but now it's like we got a couple more that are trying to stretch it that last little bit. You know, looking at the lap time, the laps remaining, that final stop, it's gonna be a little bit of a splash and go here with what we've been seeing run length wise. Now here comes Phelps.
Well,
Just
Phelps
him so
in.
far.
And Braden Sagasser and Adam Malone staying out longer. So, yeah, again, that maybe a little bit of fuel save in the second stint there is going to help the shorter run.
Sagasser
in the wall.
plowed the wall exit of one.
It doesn't look like he's lost any momentum because he's still pulling away from Malone behind.
Yeah, just slapped the wall and said, "'Tis but a scratch."
26 laps for Phelps, so it's the longest that anyone's managed to do on a stint.
We see battle for the effective race lead here. Donnelly and Sheedy side by side, right behind Adam Malone, who's still on the old tires. And here comes Phelps out of pit road. Oh, we're gonna be 3 wide. Oh dear. Oh no, Adam Malone blinks. Oh. Oh boy. I hope Adam Malone isn't trying to pit this lap. Woo.
Well, there could be some strategy to this, because if Phelps managed 26 laps, they can get to that 54 lap. They don't need to stop again. They can make it home. Whereas some of these other guys are still going to have to do a splash and dash to make it home.
Yeah, they might have tuckered him there with this strategy. But
So
it all depends on, because we don't know how much effort they were putting into saving on this last run. Are they going to be able to put in the same amount of effort this time around?
well, we definitely need to keep that eye on Braden Sagasser, Wellman,
I think he's coming in now. Yep,
He's
there he is.
coming in now. Yeah.
Ooh,
Wellman's staying out, so Wellman's got this strategy locked on, I reckon. If he can make this work, he's got that fuel strategy locked on for a win, I think.
and I kind of remember him. One of the races last season, didn't he, on the verge of pulling off a pretty crazy fuel strat until a late race caution blew it to heck? I can't remember. I can't remember that race. It was the race that kind of set off the powder keg between the two teams. But yeah, I swore I remember seeing Gary be able to stretch the fuel pretty well in the past. So now he's in.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that one, because he's going to have the most fuel on board. So, whereas everyone else is going to have to stop, he's going to be sitting pretty to make that fuel run home, I think. Now that we've had our pit stops and we've got a bit more insight on that strategy, what's happening through the field, and we've got a little bit of action for the lead coming up with Wade Sheedy. Ruben Phelps making a move on Cade Donnelly, trying to get through the inside there. Andy Barber up into the top 5 as well.
Yeah, and Raymond's not that far either. Oh, we're gonna be 3 wide. Oh, and Ruben, discretion is a better part of valor. Ruben backs out a bit, and that was a wise decision. Yeah, the guys that pitted that lap, those couple laps before, they really were able to make the undercut work, because you see Andy up there in the top 5, and you see Matty Raymond there right behind this lead pack. So yeah, that was a big gain for them.
Well, we'll go to that ad break now that we've got that pit stop done and the strategy underway to see if Wellman can bring this home. And we'll be back with you shortly.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Whoa! Back, everyone, and thanks for tuning in once again. A little bit of action up the front here. Craig Roffey, Wade Sheedy, Ruben Phelps, Andy Barber, Kate Donnelly. Everything's going on up the front here at the moment. Craig Roffey made it through. Kate Donnelly coming down pit road. That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
I think he's doing that little splash and dash early in this stint. So getting out of the argy-bargy, wanting a nice clear pit road for him. Trying to do the old undercut, maybe.
well, I think we can. I think we know that Gary Wellman. Oh, and just as I was about to say that, caution on the racetrack.
Well, that's very interesting. Kate Donnelly in pit lane, and the caution comes out. All right.
Oh.
Down change there, and a blown motor by the look of it for Sweeney.
Yep, he lit out the magic smoke.
That 6th to 3rd. I don't think the car would have liked that much. So.
And it's weird that brought out the caution because, you know, he's off the racing surface. Yeah, how many times have we seen cars like parked on the racetrack, no caution, and then pulls off on the apron to get out of the way, and boop, still a caution.
Well, there goes Wellman's strategy on fuel. So we'll see everyone come down pit road.
And yeah, I think that might be the commentator's curse, because what I was trying to say was Gary Wellman very much does not want a caution, but I'm fairly certain we're going to be getting one soon. And once again, don't even get it out of my mouth before I'm already proven. Well, I suppose this time I'm being proved correct, but point being that rip Gary's strategy.
Well, the biggest loser out of that was Cade Donnelly, because he's going to be at the back of the field now, so he's going to have to charge on through and try and get back up to the front.
And I think if we know Cade Donnelly as well as we do, he was probably like, oh gosh, really didn't want that caution, but oh well, what can you do? Totally calm, and I'm sure not upset in the slightest.
Well, I mean, while he was in pit road, maybe they fitted a nice big bull bar on the front of his car just to plow everyone on the way through. But racing off pit lane there for a few. While we're under caution, we'll see if we can drag in.
Yeah, while we're doing that, let's point out the stop that Ruben Phelps did. Really quick. Surprisingly quick. I'm curious on what he ended up doing.
Well, I'll let you you scan the list there, James. See who you want to have a chat with.
I don't know if you want me asking the question, so I'll let you do that.
Come on. Well, maybe Kobe can do it then. We'll see who he brings up. It can be a surprise for us who he's going to drag in here, and we can talk. Matty Raymond, how you going tonight?
Hey mate, how are you, bud?
Yeah, not too bad. Just kicking back, watching the show unfold, and how are you going?
Yeah, pretty good. I worked my way up the field pretty good on that second stint there. Everything seemed like it was going all right, and someone brought a yellow out.
Yeah, a bit of a cheeky down change in the gears and blew the motor on that one.
Oh, money shift, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, shifted 6 to going down to 3rd, and I think that was a bit too much. So, yeah. So, yeah, did see you were up 15 spots from where you started. Bit of a slow start to the race and back there, and yeah, was making your way through.
Yeah, it's hard to make passes around here in these things, but I don't know. Did anyone take tyres on that last stop, you reckon? I opted not to, but...
Well,
I don't know if that was the right choice.
Ruben Phelps did, because he was only an 8-second stop, so...
Nah, me and him just went fuel only, but we don't know what anyone else did. I assume Ryan or Junior went fuel only, because I reckon he was between us before, but... Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here.
Yeah, well, I mean, 4 sets of tyres, and, you've only made, 3 stops now, so...
Yeah, I got one in the bank.
Could have chucked him on. I don't know if we'll see another caution, but cautions bring cautions, so who knows? We'll see how this restart goes.
Yeah, that's it, mate. We'll see. A bit of a gamble, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. Well, you're starting up the front there, and Ruben Phelps there as well on the front row. So we'll chuck you back with Ruben. Hopefully, you boys can get a good start and come away with the podium.
All right, bud. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Thank you. Well, I don't know how that worked out, but Cade Donnelly's going to be taking us to green. So I don't know how he managed to stay... Will jump to the front of the field when everyone pitted, and he got the lucky dog wave around. So it's a very interesting one. But Cade Donnelly taking us to green. So not the biggest loser out of that chain, the biggest winner, I'd say.
Yeah, stonks.
Well, Cade Donnelly set to go with Ruben Phelps alongside. And we are back underway. So good start there for Cade Donnelly, not letting Ruben Phelps get the jump around the outside like we saw Ryan Barber do on green on lap 1.
Oh, man, Adam Malone almost caught the wall. But someone definitely caught the wall towards the back of the pack.
Braden Sagas all over the back of Ryan Barber there. Doing a big push. Matty Ray into the back of Todd Maxfield, I think there. Things will be spicing up again. Some nice close race action with 18 laps to go at Indianapolis.
Yeah, no more having to worry about fuel and anything. Intensity level is ramped up to 11.
Well, we know that Wade Sheedy had that pace early in the race, so let's see if he can make that work and try and get through the cars in front of him. Looking like we're going to 3 wide coming down into turn 3, but not quite.
And the blinks for Adam Malone are starting to get a lot worse. Like, I know this is a periodic thing for him, but this is really noticeable as we see. Oh boy. It's going to get sketchy.
Oh yeah, going 3 wide again into turn 1. Race sort of thinning out. Matty Ray, the last on the lead pack there, as they're getting a little bit of a pull away. And those behind, so the top 5 getting a nice run from the group.
Elevator move from Wellman to middle of the pack, trying to get to the inside.
You don't want to be sitting behind that blinking car when
No.
you've got a race to try and win. So the strategy not working for him tonight with that caution. So he's got to put the foot down and try and earn that win now. Wade Sheedy on the back of Troy Davidson there. Haven't seen much of Troy tonight, so Troy Davidson hoping to get a bit of a run off for this caution. A green run, so 15 to go. Well, maybe RJ, we can nickname Adam Malone as John Cena. You can't see me.
And his name is Adam Malone. Do 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 do. Do do do. Oh. One of the barbers sent it in on Matty Ray.
Ooh, there's those wall rubs as well. Todd Maxfield making the most of that as well, up the inside. Craig Roffey even looking to have the run as well. So getting up alongside Matty Ray. Just hanging out wide there. Wade Sheedy trying to come on that inside line as well.
Yeah, you wonder when those older tires of Raymond, Phelps, and I think Brian Barber are gonna give up the ghost here.
Gonna be coming 3 wide on into turn 1, but we got a
Oh,
wrap on
caution.
the front straight. Got there Scott McClintock there, missing the front bumper, and now a rear bumper, not quite. Colin Bennett maybe in front. We're back a lap on that one. We might have to go around a whole lap here. Hit the fast forward button and skip to turn 4. The wall left, Colin Bennett coming across and just found the rear of Scott McClintock.
Yeah, that is a side draft gone wrong.
Well, those tyres that were still in the bag, let's see if anyone pits and is going to make the most of that, or if they're just going to take the track position. I don't think tyres... I don't know. This is going to be an interesting call now. See if SRM boys take that extra set of tyres they got up their sleeve. We'll get a quick air break. We'll come back and hopefully bring this race home to a close.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. both go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in tonight with us. And 10 laps to go of the Doogie Mobile and everything simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series here at Indianapolis for round 8. Cade Donnelly once again taking us to green. Ruben Phelps alongside the Barbers in the second row there. And with 10 laps to go, it's going to be a wild finish here at Indy, I reckon, James.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we were hoping for.
Ooh. A big push in that inside line there. Everyone's on the brake coming into turn 1.
Yeah,
all for Todd Maxfield there.
Yeah, Ruben has just not been able to get a good jump on any of the start or any of the restarts. Even when he was the pole sitter, just not able to get a good launch. Oh, they're all over the place, jockeying for position.
Well, we're seeing that snake come out once again, and Ryan Barber trying to find that pace once again from the start of the race. Looking at that outside line at the moment. Trying to get around Braden Sagasser.
And one thing to keep an eye on, Matty Raymond did come down and take that set of tires. So we'll see if that strategy will pay off. Obviously, Ruben Phelps couldn't give up the front row as a little bit of contact with Ryan Barber and Sagasser.
Yeah, I think with this train, I don't think the tyres probably would have made too much difference. Ruben Phelps on the inside of Cade Donnelly. Braden Sagasser shutting that door on Ryan Barber. Not letting him get a run on that inside.
I think Cade might have gave Ruben Phelps a little bit of a bump and run. Phelps tried completing the pass and Cade said no, and I think moved him up the racetrack just a little bit. Sagasser. Oh, we're staggered 3 wide.
Everyone watching for that snake happening, a little bit wary on the snake, and everyone sort of trying to prevent little twitches there.
I don't think it's more of the snake as everyone just diving every which way to... Oh, there's contact for the lead! Oh, no, we're gonna... Oh! Whew. Oh, we're 3 wide for P3. Oh, there's contact! Donnelly and Sagasser again!
There's the caution.
Oh, there's the caution!
In the background there.
Oh no, Phelps!
Ooh, Troy Davidson into the back of Phelps there.
Oh!
Kim Roffey with a big hit as well. Ooh, well, unfortunate there for Phelps. Slowly going back in that field there. So I don't know if, again, that's an effect of the tyre. But there'll be others there.
Oh.
Unfortunate there for Phelps, who is in second
Yeah.
in the championship, only 3 points behind Wellman. So that's not going to help too much.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna break out my Rick Allen impression. Championship implications.
Well, we long pace laps here, so we might go another quick air break, and then we'll hopefully be back for the final of the race. And caution free to check here.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone once more, and we're going to be going green for a 3-lap dash to the finish. Braden Sagerser going to be taking us to the green this time around with Cade Donnelly on the front row. Craig Roffey and Ryan Barber locked in behind. Wade Sheedy and Andy Barber in behind them. Pace cars off. Nice little skid there into pit lane. And green flag. And Braden Sagerser has missed the start. Cade Donnelly's got the jump. Hopefully that's not going to cause a penalty on that one, but looked like the car just bottomed out on that start from Braden. Missed the gear change, maybe. Nice jump there for Cade Donnelly. That's how you do it on the outside line, but hasn't affected too much more for Braden. Still managing to hold that inside line. Barber's going to have to find a way around. Cade Donnelly into the wall. Oh, what a save.
What? How in the world? Oh, and one of the Barbers in the wall, too. Oh, God, they're spinning in the back. Oh, good
huge
God.
crash there. Parrying
no. Oh, someone get the tarps.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a sport ender. Oh, man.
Ooh, we are going green, white, checker.
Shannon just got a little high into Perry and put him in the 96 into the wall. Oh, man. Oh, that is gnarly. And to add insult to injury, I think Perry on the stock has got a speeding penalty for that too. Wow. Mother of mercy. Wow. And I gotta see a replay of that Donnelly. How in the world did Cade hold on to that car? I thought he was gonna be into the inside wall. I thought he was gonna be up careening into cars back up on the track, and he somehow saves it. That is one of the craziest saves I've seen.
Well, just looking at Parry with a meatball, who's probably not making the end of this race. Phelps has got a meatball as well, and Lachlan Purvis. A couple of other meatballs there.
I don't think Perry's making the end of the season. He's going to be in the hospital for a long time after that wreck. Oh, look at that! Oh my God! How did he do? That is crazy! What a save!
I think he must be using a G25 to do that. He wouldn't have saved that on a direct drive.
Like, oh my.
That was definitely a very nice save there from Donnelly. But green, white, checker. So the boys are either going to concede or we're going to have a race to the finish. We'll see how this one's going to end. We've only got one attempt at this as well, so we'll see if they want to make it the extra laps to the finish, or if we're just going to announce 1, 2, and 3.
Now, part of me is wondering how much fuel everyone has on board. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be that much of an issue. Because, like, you probably made sure to take a little bit of extra fuel since you took tires anyways. At least, you hope they put in a little bit of extra fuel when they were taking those tires to have enough for this white checkered. Otherwise,
Well, yeah, you'd hope that it's going to have enough in the tank to get home, but we might not even need enough for 3 laps the way these last few laps have gone. Might only need enough for 1 lap.
yeah, it's just when you get a race going into green-white checkered, especially with it having to add the extra laps, like, no matter what, you always stop and wonder to yourself, is everyone good to go? They probably are, but you still always wonder. Plus, also, we need a talking point to fill up the airspace until we go green. Like,
Well,
honestly, folks watching it,
we're about to go green, so we've
Yeah.
still got half a lap, well, almost half a lap to go. So.
yeah, I'll let you in on a secret, folks watching at home. Most of the random tangents I go on strategy-wise is usually wrapped up into me trying to figure out something to fill airtime with. So if you ever wonder why I'm coming up with the most dumbest potential strategies people can come up with, yeah, that's pretty much why.
Well, I think on green, Brian Sagas is going to pull into pit lane and change his tyres. And there's one for the dumbest strategy, I think, James.
Man, that's some dumb strategy speculation even for me. And that's saying something compared to the stuff I've cooked up with, like Craig Roffey starting from pit lane to get an extra little bit of fuel saved.
I did like that one.
I remember you saying, I hate to break it to you, James, but he's already on pit road. So we see a pace car about to pull off.
See, that's how you enter pit lane, guys. You do a nice little skid there, and you don't even lose the rear. And what an entry! So nice jump there, Braden.
Oh,
they're missing the start again on green. So Andy Barber with a great start. Wade Sheedy.
Oh dear.
Looking for that start too, but he's going to get that door shut from Braden. So Andy. Enough momentum there to get in front of Braden Sagasser.
Oh! We're fine. Everything's fine. Oh!
I was waiting for that inside facade, but that
right.
didn't come.
Oh no!
Sagasser
sideways! Oh, she in the wall! Oh, we stay green. Oh no, we're not going to be green. That's it.
The caution. Couldn't quite make it to the line, and there's our race winner, Andy Barber, declared.
Andy Barber, winner of 2 of the last 3 races.
Well, the unofficial results on screen at the moment. Andy Barber taking the win at Indianapolis. Braden Sagasser in second after a dicey moment there. Cade Donnelly coming home in third. Ryan Barber fourth, just off the podium. Gary Wellman in fifth. Troy Davidson sixth. Craig Roffey seventh. Todd Maxfield eighth. Matty Ray in ninth. And Nicholas Walsh top 10.
And finishing 11th, Jake Jackson. A good recovery from Jake. He was a lap down earlier on in the race. 12th for Troy Mortensen, Shannon Wright 13th. Steve McLennan bringing it home 14th. Another good recovery from him. We saw him have a little bit of wall contact. Scott McClintock in 15th. Wade Sheedy dominated a good chunk of this race. Unfortunately, brings home 16th. Peter Matson, Nat Malone, 17th and 18th, also involved in that final wreck. And then Lachlan Purvis and Kim Roffey round out the top 20. Perianosakis in 21st, Ruben Phelps P2 in the championship, Hip 22nd, Colin Bennett 23rd, Angus Sweeney 24th, Derek Jacobs, and Jade Chandler rounding out the final 2 spots in the running order.
Well, it would have been good to see Andy just cut sick right there in front of the whole field and see what happened under checkered flag. But they'll make their way around again, get black flag because they're in front of the pace car, and we'll see who wins it after that. But not quite.
And that's how Wade Sheedy won this race while missing his front bumper. Well, that was truly a race there, Paul.
Well, the end didn't disappoint. A little bit slower in the first half of the race, but that's to be expected at Indy. And here comes Ryan to give the old man a pat on the back for that one. We'll let Andy have his moment, and he'll have a nice tank of fuel there to do his celebratory burnout. Didn't quite do the whole of Indianapolis in reverse while doing a burnout.
Oh look, there's the pace car, finally making it on the pit road.
Alrighty, well, and he's missed pit lane. Alrighty, well, we go to a quick ad break and we'll get the drivers up in the booth for a quick chat before we wrap up, so don't go away.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Alrighty, welcome back, and thanks once again tuning in tonight for round 8 of the Digimobile and Everything Simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. Joined in the booth, we have our podium starting off with Cade Donnelly in third place. How you going, Cade?
Yeah, good, mate.
Well, what a finish under green, white checker and declared. What did you think of that one?
It was pretty... Yeah, it was pretty boring up until about 15 laps to go, but no, it's always a shame to finish a race like that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, usually Indy, the racing comes alive in the last sort of 10 to 20 laps at Indy. It can be a bit of a boring race at times, but no, it didn't disappoint towards the end there, that's for sure. Put on a show for everyone. I thought you were a little bit lucky there. You pitted under an early stop, maybe not quite able to get home on fuel, and then the caution come out. I thought you might have been a little bit screwed on that one, but somehow you were at the front of the field to lead off once again.
Yeah, I've got a crystal ball, mate.
just paid the pace car to get that wave around and stick you at the front again.
No, I was extremely lucky, mate. I thought it was getting a little bit funny there. I didn't have the laps, and I thought, well, the only thing I can really do is pit earlier and at least have like some run maybe. And then the yellow came out, and I was like, oh, game on.
Yeah, nice. So like I said, I thought you might have ended up at the back of the field for the restart, but somehow you got to the front, so that worked out quite well for you and set yourself up.
Yeah, and I paid him off.
Yeah, thought so. How much yelling and screaming was there from Wellman in your Discord chat when the old fuel strategy didn't work out?
Yeah, he was looking pretty good. And it was a few choice words. I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was pretty calm. He was pretty calm, but he knew that at that point that his good strategy, and I think there might have been a couple of others, just sort of went out the window at that point.
Yeah, I think they were maybe a lap less than Wellman, so he was looking pretty good if those cautions didn't fly. But unfortunate there. So. Nonetheless, you had a pretty good race. You're up the front most of it and in amongst it. So well done there, coming home with a podium tonight. We'll let you have a shout out to your sponsors.
Yeah, cheers, Jacko. Yeah, just like to thank Hot Toddy's Heating Installs and United Electrical. Obviously the Sim Boys, you guys for broadcasting and Kobe for the league.
All right. mate. No worries. Thank you. Okay, and we'll let you get back to it, and have a good evening.
Cheers, bro.
Thank you. And we'll pass you over now to James for place 2.
All right, Braden Sagasser, James up in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy.
All right, well, that was a wild final lap there for you. We saw you get knocked sideways coming down the back straightaway. We saw you get knocked sideways going into turn 3. Take us through your point of view of those.
Yeah, the final lap, I just got really nervous. So at turn 2, I hit the grass, and then I got loose. I tried defending from Wade, and he just got in the rear of my car and gave me a little, knock, and almost speared me into the wall. But I think that's part of racing. And turn 3, I just tried diving the corner, try and get in front of him, and once again, apparently I love grass. I hit the grass again, got super loose and hit Wade, which I deeply apologize for. That was not part of the plan, but just tried saving it. But yeah, it was just a hectic finish, and I want to congratulate Andy on the win there. He did really good to get that that really good start on the final restart.
Yeah, speaking of the restarts, I hate to bring this up, but we saw you have a little bit of issues off the jump on the last couple of restarts. To take us through those last couple of restarts and what happened.
Yeah, that first, second last restart, I got a little bit put off because Cade was in front of me. But I just tried holding my speed, and I just, got sidetracked of where I was. Saw the green flag, and he was, like a bat out of hell, and jumped me. And that last restart, I just wanted to keep my cool. But obviously, Andy was really good at predicting the green light, and he got the jump again. I think I just didn't want to make any mistakes, but it bit me in the end.
So after the restart, at that point, did you have any sort of plan, or was it pretty much just take whatever comes to you and try to avoid the incoming chaos?
Pretty much just try and get into line, try and get the draft, and try and draft up back to Andy. There was not much of a plan. I was just kind of putting the balls to the wall and hoping for the best.
Alrighty, well, that was a heck of a run, all things considered, with everything that was going on this race. Any sponsors, plugs, and shoutouts you'd like to give?
Just want to thank the 1-9 boys, like Lachlan and Jake, for coming out tonight. I know Lachlan didn't have a good ending there. I think he got caught up in a little bit of drama. But shout out to Jake as well. I think he was last on the second last restart, or the third last restart, and he got back up to 11th. And rumor is that Chris might be back next week, but if not next week, he'll be back the week after.
Hell yeah, that's welcome news for all of us, honestly. Well, Braden, that was a heck of a performance tonight, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Thank you.
Alright, back over to Paul for our race winner.
Well, James, that's one way to start a rumour, isn't it? Just chuck in the return of Chris Bleakley. But we'll get to our man of the moment, man of the hour, and that's none other than Andy Barber. Welcome.
Thanks, boys. Good evening.
Good evening to you, and once again up in the booth to join us with a victory at Indianapolis.
Third time this season, pretty happy with that, stringing them together now. So on a really good roll, and just trying to continue with the good form and make smart decisions and see how it plays out.
Nice. Well, that'll definitely help with the championship. I see you and Junior slowly sneaking up there. I think you're both in the top 5, and a win certainly tonight will help push you up a little bit more towards the front of this championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a couple of races early on in the season where we had a bit of a fuel issue, and we ended up firing our crew chief and hiring new staff. So we seemed to get that sorted as well. So yeah, it was quite a different one tonight. To be honest, I think that Gary Wellman and Adam Malone had this race in the bag, just for the mere fact that they saved enough fuel to make it a two-stopper. So I was kind of a bit disheartened for Adam when that initial caution came out, because it just totally just ruined the strategy for both those boys. And he basically read out to me, "Oh, I can just make it if I fuel save." And I'm like, well, that's a 1-2 for you and Gazza then, if that's the case, because during that first stint, I was kind of separated into the lead of the second pack, and therefore I had to burn a lot more fuel, and I just flat-footed it all the way to try and catch that first pack. So naturally I was burning more and a little bit off strat, and I think the difference in fuel with Adam was around about 6 to 7 laps, so it was quite significant tonight.
Yeah, I did see that one with Gazza and Malone there. Malone a lap earlier than Gary Wellman though, so wasn't sure if Adam could have made that home. He did have quite a lot of blinking issues as well that might have pushed him back a bit in that field as well, unfortunately. But
he seemed quite confident. He seemed quite confident at the time that he could make it. Adam's probably one of our best fuel savers that we have, so we always kind of use him as a key and a guide for the fuel saving races. And yeah, I had full confidence that he would make it towards the end if we didn't, have further cautions further on in the race.
Well, a race that could have been anyway, but you taking the chockies tonight, so not a bad run there from Junior as well. Getting a nice jump and out early lead in the front of the race as well, the start of the race, but couldn't quite find the momentum through pit stops and getting back up there towards the end. But, still good result there, 4th spot for Junior as well. So the Southern Stars team having a few good finishes tonight. But we'll let you thank your sponsors and we'll wrap up.
No worries. Well, first and foremost, hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast or watching. It was a pretty action-packed race. It was a bit hairy for me there at times when we were 3, 4, 5 wide in some instances. But yeah, just shout out to you guys, Inside Lane Productions, you guys in the booth for putting the broadcast together and putting your time together for it, because we like to go back and watch it afterwards. And yeah, just the Southern Stars team, Adam, D-Mac, myself, Tom, Junes, Mish's Excel Garage, our primary sponsors, along with 7-Eleven, RBI Trading Cards, and Sydney Pool Services as well. So check them out online, and just naturally a shout out to the folks watching up in the in Harvey Bay area. So hi to Mike and Rose. Hope you enjoyed that one.
Alrighty, there you go. Well, thank you, Andy. And that's your podium. Andy Barber with the win at Indianapolis. Brian Sags for 2nd, and Cade Donnelly in 3rd. But that's it, James. That's another round done and dusted. Indianapolis round 8.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the hardest races to really wrap your head around. Like Kate said, it was going one way early on, and then once we got that first caution with less than 20 to go, things got wild from there, and definitely one of the more chaotic finishes we've seen. But that's Indy for you.
Yep. Well, that's it for another week. And big thanks to our sponsors, Digi Mobile, Everything Simulated, TWR Setups, 131 Web Radio Network, and I'm thinking there's another one I can't think of right now off the top of my head. No, we had Digi. Yeah, next week we will be at Texas Motor Speedway for race 9. So every race is going to start counting for these boys in the championship, and we'll see how the points unfold next week. But tune in here next week on Inside Lane Productions, and we'll see you then. Have a good night.